Hey guys, this is a pick a card reading on Who Will You Marry? And we're going to use two decks. So we're going to use the Mystic Mondays tarot deck and the Gods and Titans Oracle deck. We're going to choose 3 cards out of the Gods and Titans Oracle deck. I'm going to shuffle and 3 will fly out. And those are the cards we'll use for the piles. So I'm going to shuffle now. Okay. So we have Vishnu, balance. It came out reversed, so I'm taking it reversed. We have Ra, power, reversed. We have Al, focus, reverse. To be fair, I had these two in the last reading, and guys, I don't want to keep picking the same cards. So Vishnu's new, but these two I'm gonna put them back in the deck to shuffle because I don't want repetitive readings. So let's get 2 more. Okay, cool. Rah, we got Lugh, skill. We have Achilles, confidence, but is in reverse. I'm going to take it reverse because it fell out reverse. Yeah, guys, sorry about that. The last 2 cards, sorry. In a previous reading, those cards came out and I really don't want repetitive readings. So we had to put it back in the deck and shuffle again because that wasn't going to work. Okay, so one more time. Pile number 1 is Vishnu, balance reverse. Pile number 2 is Lugh, skill. Pile number 3 is Achilles, confidence, in reverse. Okay, I'm going to go to pile number 1. Who will pile number 1 marry? Let's see. Okay, pile number one, marry. Let's go. Okay. You got the Four of Cups reversed. You got the Tower reversed. You got the Two of Cups reversed. You have the Five of Swords reversed. Okay, there is a lot of reversals here. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Empress. So, okay, this person's quite chaotic. Is it in a good sense? Is in a fun sense, but this person kind of lacks balance in their life. I'm getting the feeling that you guys may provide this person balance and they might provide you with fun in return. For some of you, this person, okay, what's good about them is they'll be quite loyal to you. I'm not seeing any deceptiveness because every time they're given the opportunity to talk to someone else, it seems like they're just going to decline them. Like, no, I'm fine with my wife or husband. I don't need to talk to you guys. I don't need to cheat. That I don't need to do any of that. So, yeah. But then a downside to that is they might be given a lot of opportunities in life, and due to lack of trust and low self-esteem, they might not take any of those opportunities. So you might be having to say to them, oh, like maybe you should try and, apply for this job, or maybe you should take this opportunity and see where it goes. And just because they can't really see where the opportunity could lead them to, they're just not going to take it. So they might be quite skeptical people. So again, when opportunity is given to them, they might be a bit worried and scared, and they might not like to take it. They might be someone that likes to stick to what they know. Your husband or wife might be quite, there's a word. Okay, so there might have been someone that was just exposed to like an unbalanced life in their childhood. All they know is they don't really understand stability. They wasn't really given that growing up. So I feel like with them marrying you, you provide balance and you provide stability. So what's happened is, obviously, the type of person they are, whenever something is good and something stable for once in their life, they get a bit worried. They get worried quite easily. It's like, oh, this is going well, but I'm scared that this is going to crumble so quick. Like, this isn't going to work. So it's very worried. I'm not going to say it's pessimistic, but because they don't have any stability, it's like, wow, is this really happening? Am I actually like getting married? Am I actually going to stay with this person? Do you know what I mean? So, and that's just one example, but I think in a lot of scenarios in your marriage, they're going to feel like they're going to be worried about the stability of things. It could be something minor like the school the school that the children go to is not minor, but do you know what I mean? Like, oh, the school accepted them. Okay, well, they need to be on their best behavior so the school doesn't kick them out. Okay, will your parents like me? If they don't like me, then how is this marriage going to last? Like, they get very worried in those type of scenarios. Yeah, due to unbalanced life, they don't really trust a lot of people. Um, yeah, and because they've been betrayed a lot, they don't really trust their instincts as well. They don't, not instincts, they don't trust their intuition. So your partner might be someone that second guesses themselves a lot of the time. They might go to you and ask you for advice, like, oh, what do you think I should do here? Because I'm a bit, you know, I'm a bit skeptical of that, because I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I should listen to this person. I don't know if I should be friends with that person, because, you know, I don't trust them. So your partner might have a few trust issues. I don't think it's with you. I just think it's with people outside of your marriage, and things outside of your marriage, events outside of your marriage. They will just feel like, I don't trust it. They probably, get a feeling that you guys, some of you will be with this person for quite a while, and that's the only reason that they trust you. But then there's some of you where this person, they they've decided that they trust you, but even then, they feel like there is a small chance that you could betray them too. So you have quite a worried and untrusting partner. But you see, but they're untrusting, but it's not in a okay. It's not in a way where it prevents you from doing what you need to do in life. It doesn't trap you or anything. Like, they're not, that untrusting. But it's untrusting where, you could go out there and cheat on me. I won't know, unless I have evidence. They probably won't even say that to you. They won't make it into a big deal, but no, deep down inside, there might be a tiny bit of them that doesn't really trust you neither, because there's been no one in their life that they could really trust properly. Oh my gosh, this is quite sad. And I know you guys will come in on this reading to be like, yeah, let me see my husband and wife. I feel like a lot of you in pile number one, you guys are healers. You guys are really good friends, really good lovers, and that's probably, yeah, it's like I don't want to say it's a karmic relationship. Well, I personally feel like it could be a karmic relationship, um, in terms of you're showing this person how to trust people again, and how to, love people, and feel safe in doing so. So it's karmic in that respect. Um, but also, I feel like you guys are opposites, and you guys balance each other out. And I feel like that's why you end up marrying this person, because um, they teach you things that you're not, aware of or exposed to, and vice versa. So I know some of you are probably thinking, this is depressing. I don't really want a partner like this. But maybe you're supposed to have a partner like this, because maybe you guys are just very, loving and trusting, and you have a good heart, and you operate with your heart chakra mainly. But this person can teach you how to protect yourself from people that mean you no good. So it's not all bad, you know what I mean? I'm trying to make sure this don't burn. Let me just take this out. One moment, guys. Yeah, that's out. Okay. And your husband or wife is quite a nervous individual, because I'm feeling a lot of anxiety. Do not know why. So I guess it's their energy. Um, this person may feel like everyone in the world is out to play mind games. Like, everyone has a secret agenda. Everyone has an ulterior motive, and they feel like they cannot be the victim, or they cannot be the person that gets duped. They refuse to be. So every time they make a connection with people, um, they're like, okay, I'm going to be 10 steps ahead, um, with this person, even though they're showing me that, they're trustworthy, and they're showing me that they have a good heart. Okay, that's nice. You could be lying to me, like everyone previously in my life has lied to me. So yeah, I'm watching you. So even with you, like in the marriage, they might, it's quite sneaky. It's like, you might say, "Oh, I'm going to the shop," or I'm going to my friend's barbecue," and they'll be like, "Yeah, okay," but they're like, something in the back of their head is like, they might not be going to no friend's barbecue. They might not even be going to, the shop. Like, so, but as I said, it's not confrontational energy. It's not energy where it's like, well, you're not going to the shop. It's very much, okay. They'll say okay to you, but in the back of their head is like, I don't really know if my partner's actually, what they say is actually true. So I have to make sure that I don't look a certain way. I don't look like a mug. A mug, so for you guys that are American that's watching this, a mug is kind of like a simp, if you will. But the person you marry will be very nurturing. They'll be very I want to. I don't know so much about loving. I think it's more nurturing. So they'll make sure that, you know they might cook for you quite often. They might they might they might be someone that wants a lot of children. So they might say to you, "Oh, like, I think it's time, we have some children." They might say it quite early. They might make their whole life about you guys as children, which is, that's actually quite lovely. You know what I mean? Um, they'll feel very abundant with you, but outside of you, they're just very scared. Basically, they're very worried and very vigilant. But within the connection with you, even though they have a few, I don't really know about power number one, is very much, I know them to an extent. I know them, like, I would say 70, 80%. I know I can trust them 70, 80%. Like, but not 100, because they don't trust no one 100%. But like 70, 80%, I trust, partner number one as a marriage partner. So it's fine. It's okay. So as I said, yeah, they'll feel the most comfortable with you out of everyone. Probably even more than their family, to be honest. Some people, like, they'll never put their partner before their family. Like, no, for you guys, they might put you before their family, because for some of them, I don't think their family was quite supportive of them, and quite nurturing and loving to them. So they find that with you, basically. It's kind of like you guys just find each other. It's quite lovely. Let me see what I get out of the oracle card. I feel like that. I feel like your partner is a multitasker. Um, they can do a lot of things at one time, which is really good. And I feel like for some of you, your partner's really careful with the way they say stuff, because they wasn't careful with the way they said stuff before, um, growing up, and that's put them in a lot of problems. But by the time you meet them, and by the time you get married, they'll know what to say and when to say it, because their throat chakra is quite balanced. But this is what it is generally. Generally, they're really good at, speaking and talking. But times when they get triggered, like when something triggers them, that you know, that triggers something from their past. Like you might say something and it's triggered something from their past that they haven't really healed. They might say something reckless out of nowhere. So some of you might have to get prepared for that. Like normally they're very careful with their words, but I feel like once something's said that triggers them in a bad way, they could be quite mean with the way they say stuff. But it's not to hurt you, it's to defend themselves, basically. Which isn't right anyway, but this is the vibe I'm getting. So this person is quite wise, but is wise in the respect of they kind of know when people are up to something from past experience, and they basically explain this to you. You guys might view upon it like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, you're being quite, what's the word? You're trying to view everyone negatively. Not everyone is like, your mum or your dad or your cousin. Not everyone has done, is going to do something horrible to you. So you guys might just be like, calm down to them. And they might be like, no, I'm trying to tell you this is what they're going to do. This is what's going to happen. They're very aware. They can kind of tell early signs of when a situation isn't going to go well or a friendship isn't going to go well. And again, some of them might want to do a few things with their life, but you might get with them and they might say stuff like, oh, I really wanted to do this, but I just decided not to. And it's not really because they decided not to, it's just because their self-esteem was too low at the time, so they didn't do it. And that's probably why they haven't done it to the point where you lot get married. So you might want to persuade them to actually try and do stuff and try and boost their self-esteem. I know that's not really you guys' obligation. Well, it kind of is if you're married to them, do you know what I mean? So maybe you might want to like help improve their self-esteem a bit and teach them how to improve their own self-esteem, and then they can go after things and do things that they previously wanted to do but were too scared to. Okay, yeah. And due to some bad experiences, they could actually be a bit wrong about certain people, or certain things. So they might say something like, no, like this is gonna I previously said this, but this is gonna go wrong, this isn't gonna work out, and it actually works out, and they was wrong. But because all they've been exposed to is some awkward, horrible times, they just think any small sign of something weird is like, yep, this is not going to go well, which is not necessarily true. So yeah, you guys are basically married to a bit of a skeptic, but they mean well. They really love you. They'll nurture you. They'll help you. But there is a sense of low self-esteem and a sense of skepticism about them. So pile number one, that's your reason. This is who you're going to marry. If you like this, you can like and subscribe to my channel. If you want a personal reading, you can visit my Etsy page, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, pile number two for those that chose Lugh, and he represents skill. Let's do this. Who will pile number 2 marry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, pile number 2, marry. 9 of Cups reversed. Okay. 8 of Pentacles reversed. The Tower. 7 of Wands. And you have the 2 of Wands reversed at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's go. Okay. So for pile number 2, I'm getting that the person you're going to marry is going to have a very strong skill. Now, I know you guys are like, but you just read skill on the card and that's what you said. No, hear me out. I got more information. Okay, don't sleep on me. They have a very strong skill. But it could also be that they're quite multi-talented. They're like a jack of all trades. They're good at a lot of things. And I'm getting it's more hands-on skills. So it could be art. It could be graphic design. It could be mechanic. They could be a mechanic. They could be... They could be good at martial arts or as a type of fighting sport. They're quite talented in a way where they have to use their hands, legs, feet. It's more physical. But yeah, they're very skillful. But it's not just in one skill. They have a lot of skills. So this is one thing. Which you know is really good to have, you know, with a partner. You don't really have to I have to call the plumber. My partner's a plumber. He can just fix the toilet and bathroom like quick. Oh, the car's broken down. What do? Oh, I can just ask my partner. He'll know what to do. So the partner's very hands-on. But because they're quite naturally good at a lot of things, they might feel like they don't need to work hard in what they do. So they might have a mindset of, well, I'm really good at this, so I don't really need to do extra lessons for what? I'm really good at it. Like, so they might be quite it's like, I can do this. You can see how well I do it. I don't need to work too hard on it. It just comes naturally, okay? So they might have that mindset. They might like to have more fun than to work hard. So I'm not saying that they're going to be a bum. Like, no one's saying that. But they just feel like they don't have to work that hard in life just because they're naturally good at a certain skill. I would say it doesn't take much to... Hold on. Okay, this is 2 groups of people. For the first group, it doesn't take much to make this person happy. So they kind of make themselves happy. They're pretty much happy within themselves, so they don't really need other people for validation. Um, and yeah, like you could just, I don't know, make them a nice dinner or a nice breakfast, or take them to, you know, your local restaurant. They're happy. They're having a good time because at least you took them somewhere. That's the way they view stuff. So they might like the little things. Oh, you came home and bought them a box of chocolates. Lovely, lovely. You made my day. So a lot of them, it doesn't take much to satisfy them. However, there's another group of people where this person, they're never satisfied. So it's kind of like, and that's awkward when you're married to someone and they're never satisfied, because it's kind of like you might feel like, so why did you marry me then if I don't even satisfy you? You know what I mean? But it's not personal. It's just there's someone that kind of um, they expect a lot from life, but I just find that quite interesting that they expect a lot from life, but they're not willing to put hard work in. Is that they kind of just expect things to come to them, which you're not, things aren't going to come to you without you putting hard work in. That doesn't really make sense, but that's some of the mindsets of some of your partners. But I'm going to pray that it was the first half I said where they're happy with the bare minimum. I was thinking the first thing I said with the couples that are happy with the partner that's happy with the bare minimum. I felt that first, but then also I was getting a message of the partners that are never satisfied. So I couldn't really tell you which one you fall into, but I'm going to carry on and I'll get back to that. Okay, I just get the vibe that a lot goes on with this person in terms of they have a lot of epiphanies, a lot of realizations. So you might be chilling out, they might be like, oh my gosh, hold on a minute, I've just realized something. So, etc., etc. Like they might just have a lot of epiphanies out of nowhere. It might scare you, like, oh wow, okay, that was random, that came out of nowhere. Um, some of you, um, this person may be dramatic in the sense of, like, if something doesn't really work out the way they wanted it to, is very much okay, well then F it then. Well, okay, well it's not working out then, so it can't work out. And you guys might be like, okay, hold on, it's not the end of the world. It can get fixed. We can fix this, okay? And the person's like, no, it's done now. It's ruined. It's over. Forget it. Not over as in your marriage, but over as in whatever you guys are talking about. If it doesn't work out exactly the way they would like, they're just like, well, forget this, forget it now. We'll just do something else. It's ruined now. It's done. You guys are like, you need to chill. This can get fixed. It can work out in a different way. We can find another way. Just calm down. So your person might be dramatic in that sense. If they hear sad news or negative news, they might be like, oh my, they might do the whole works, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. What are we gonna do now? It's just very over the top. Entertaining, but over the top. And you guys might have to be the ones to say, okay, you know what, calm down, just calm down. We can find a solution. And for those that kind of end up with a partner that doesn't like to work hard, you might have to be, you know, your partner's support. That's like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, husband or wife, you might want to, you know, work on this. I know you're naturally good at it, but hear me out. You can be even better in the skill if you work hard at it. But then I've noticed, and I was going to get to this, you guys might say this to your partner and they might be very defensive. Like, excuse me. So you try to say I'm not that good at what I do because I feel like I am. So you might get a partner that's just very, very defensive. Like, whenever you give a small bit of criticism, they'll be like, excuse you? I feel like I'm very good at what I do. Okay, I don't like the way you're shouting at me. Okay, you know you can speak in a lower voice. It's very defensive. I'm not gonna lie. So you're gonna end up with a partner that's quite defensive. Um, But you also end up with a partner that will defend you too. They'll defend you with people outside of the marriage. So if people try to, attack you, come for you, they're like, "Are you okay? You will not come for my husband or my wife. Don't you dare." Yeah, no, and it might even be in an aggressive way. I think they'll even fight for you. They'll be like, "What did you say? What did you say to my husband or wife?" Oh no, no, no. You have to hold a punch for that one. No, like I feel like they'll feel just rage because it's the it's the fact that the person had the audacity to even try you, to even like fight you, like or even like mention your name in a bad way. Your partner's gonna be like, "What? No." Your husband or wife's gonna be like, "No, it's go time." Because what you're not, if you disrespect my partner, you're disrespecting me, Okay, so we're not having that. Very dramatic. This partner is very dramatic, I have to say. Um, Also, they can be quite unpredictable. Um, Also, they can be quite indecisive. So, okay, let's say they're good at multiple skills. You might say to them, "Okay, so what do you want to focus on?" And then they're like, "I don't know. Well, I'm good at both of them. How am I supposed to choose?" And then you're like, "Okay, but we need to be practical. You need to focus on one to either monetize from it or, to focus on it as a passion." And the person's like, "Well, I don't know which one I like better. So what do you want me to do?" And it's just like, ugh. If you go to the shop and so if you're at the shop and you call your husband or wife, you're like, "Okay, do you want shepherd's pie for dinner or do you want spaghetti bolognese?" They'll be like, they're like a kid in a candy store. Is like they're like, "I don't know, I don't know," and it's just like guys could probably be on the phone like, what was the point of me even calling you to ask you? Because I knew you was going to be indecisive. So you might experience times with your partner where they're just really indecisive about what they want to eat, where they want to go, what they want to do, what they want to focus on. So yeah, there's indecisiveness there. Let's see if I get anything else. Okay, for some of you, your partner may have like a serious face and they can't help it. That's just how their face is. It's very serious, very. And you might look at your partner at times like, "Are you alright? Are you okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And their face automatically changes like to a normal face. Like, sorry, I know that was rude, but like a blank face. And they're like, "No, I'm fine." And then you're like, "Okay," you're kind of looking at me intensely, like, or you're staring into space and you look kind of mad, like, or angry, like, "Are you sure you're okay?" And then your partner's like, "What are you talking about? I'm fine. I was just chilling." So they naturally have like a serious face. Some of them, when they look at you, they naturally have like piercing eyes or an intense face. So some of you might be talking to them and you're just like, "Why is this man or woman staring at me like this?" Like staring at me like this. That's a bit crazy. Um, so mid conversation, it might make you feel a bit awkward sometimes, but then I feel like over the years, you guys will just get used to it. Like this is just my partner's face. They just have a very serious face. There's nothing I can do about it. You know. Some of you might actually find that very attractive about them, that their face is so serious. I don't know. I was getting that for a few people. Hmm. Seeing if I get any more messages, guys. So this person has a very protective energy about them. They'll always try. They have like a guard up. They they protect their feelings at all costs. At all costs. I don't. And pile number one, theirs was more in like a negative way because they was their marriage partner's been scarred and that. But in this one, is this part your partner's not been scarred or nothing. It's just they just know how to protect themselves and they will by any means necessary. So they will protect you as well. You guys come as a unit. They understand the meaning of marriage. If you mess with my wife or husband, you mess with me. Period. So, okay. Some of you might marry someone with a face tattoo. That could happen. Or they just have like a very distinctive tattoo. It's very different. Not You don't really see that tattoo often. It's very, oh, that's interesting that you chose that. People don't normally get that. It might have like a deep symbolism that you have to ask them about to understand it. Okay, I think that's all I'm getting from you guys in pile number 2. Well, yeah, your partner seems quite interesting. They seem quite fun, you know. But if you like this reading, you can like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading, you can check in my description box below, in the description box below. And yeah, I'm gonna go to pile number 3 now. Pile number 3, this is if you chose Achilles, confidence reversed. Who is pile number 3 going to marry? Ten of Swords reverse. Eight of Swords reverse. The Lovers. And the Four of Cups. Oh wow, okay, and the Two of Cups reversed at the bottom. We have some very spontaneous husbands and wives out here. So okay, so first of all, I don't know if it's kind of obvious, guys, but your partner may lack a bit of confidence. Or hold on. No, they lack it. I was gonna try and say some of them are overconfident, but because the cards after they don't really show that, I can't really say that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they lack confidence. I'm gonna get into why in a minute, but that's just from the oracle card. Okay, so this person has been through a very hard time. Um, the person that you are going to marry. Oh, okay. So for some of you, I feel like some of you actually know this person. Ooh, some of you actually know the person you're going to marry. Reason being is you guys could have had a lot of falling out. So it might be someone that you've just fallen out with continuously. It's like, okay, you make up, you break up, you make up, you break up, and then eventually it comes to a point where you guys say, okay, let's just get married, and it works because it's like every time you guys have had an argument, it hasn't turned to, well, I'm never talking to you again. It's very much, well, I mean, we must be made for each other if we can withstand so much arguments and, and still want to be with each other. So I think that's what leads to the marriage eventually, because it's like you guys can't see yourself with anyone else. So yeah, that's kind of cute. I'm not really getting toxic energy, because I know what I said just sounded a bit toxic, because you shouldn't really be getting married to someone that you argue with 24/7. Like, but it might not literally mean like 10 arguments or loads of arguments. It might mean like, you've had a few serious arguments here and there, but majority of the time you guys get along. And obviously the arguments you do have been very serious, to the verge of, probably a breakup. But maybe you guys just know that, okay, it's time to actually get married now, because like I've known you for a while and we've had our fair share of arguments, and I know that I can be with you, have an argument, and not want to just leave. I kind of understand you as a person. So yeah, this is who I want to spend my life with. That's so cute. Oh, some of you saved this person from a hard life. I don't know where that came from. um, or vice versa. So this person's been there for you in your weak times, in your the times where you felt like you was never really gonna continue with life. Wow, that got dark. Um, Sorry guys, I'm trying to be very sensitive. So some of you, or this could even be your partner, but let's say someone. So because this is a general reading, someone may have felt like someone may have felt suicidal. Someone may have felt that everyone just turned against them. They don't have any real friends because their friends backstabbed them, or their families backstabbed them. Like they just been through some really, hard times, and your partner or um, you're just there for each other during these hard times, and that's how yes, I'm going to marry this person, because they've been with me in my most vulnerable moments, and they've been supportive during those moments. So that's cute, I have to say. This is someone that you've probably, been on the phone with at interesting hours of the night, like 3 4 a.m. You stayed on the phone with them to speak with them, and it never gets boring. They always have something to talk about, and maybe these are the times they talk about their most vulnerable moments. So yeah, this person, they they're quite, I want to say they're quite confused, not with your relationship, not at all, because you guys got the lovers. Like they understand where they stand with you in terms of your relationship, and due to what I just said just now. But when it comes to communication with people and wondering what they're gonna do, and just information in general, it might not even have to do with people, but just information in general, they're just kind of a bit they're a bit confused. They don't know what to do with certain information they receive, and a lot of them feel trapped. Okay, for some of you, this person went prison, they've come out, and then you guys get married. Interesting. Okay. Um, some of you, this person, they might have had a history of going to prison, or I should say jail. Um, so one, I want to say one, I don't judge anyone that that's in that predicament, because come on, we're all human. And two, I'm not wishing out on anyone. Neither, I'm not wishing for any of you guys to be with someone that's in and out of jail. But what I'm saying is that could be a possible scenario or situation. Or if it's prison and jail's got nothing to do with it, it's just this person is usually just a very confused person. They don't really know what to do with their life. But since they got married to you, they've just felt a sense of happiness they haven't felt before. Wow, that's deep. They feel like you're their other half, you're their soulmate, you're their missing piece of the puzzle. The Lovers is giving me that vibe a lot. They don't know how they would live without you, and it's not in a toxic way. Like, God forbid anything was to happen, they'd obviously have to learn how to live, or you'd have to learn how to live. But it's in a healthy way. Like, wow, I actually found someone that I really love, and they really love me, and we're actually a couple, a deep one. So that's what I have for you guys. And it's a similar message to pile number one. Like, this person might they might be given a few opportunities, and they just will say no to them because they don't know what's a good opportunity and what isn't. As I said, they're quite confused in that respect. So I'm not saying they're someone that sticks to what they know, but if they really are unsure of an opportunity, or if like someone wants to try and come into your marriage and do up cheating, they're just basically they're not going to entertain that. But obviously, if this partner, if your marriage partner does not, what's the word? If they don't take on opportunities, you have to persuade them to, because it could be a good opportunity, but because this part's quite similar to part number one, where they've just had a bit of a hard time with people and betrayal. They're just not that confident when it comes to opportunities. Let me see what other messages I get. Okay, this person has hidden rage, which makes sense if they've basically been, betrayed and hurt. But they don't really show that. They don't show the rage. They might show it in interesting ways, but it's not a traditional way. So some people, they get angry, they'll want to punch something, or they'll shout at someone. Like, this person it's more, I don't want to say vindictive because that's not the word, but it's more hidden. But you can see that they're really angry. They might say something passive aggressive. They might be a passive aggressive individual. But yeah, they're not gonna show it physically. They might say something, but they're not gonna. And when they say something, it's gonna be very discreet. But they're not gonna show how angry they are. Maybe they've been taught to not show anger because it's either unprofessional, or if they show anger, it can backfire. So they've probably been taught this. So this is probably why they're like that. They don't have the confidence to do much because they're unsure of what's been offered. Even if someone says, what I'm offering you is XYZ, and they explain clearly, your person's like, that's what you say, but I don't know about all that. So yeah, I mean, with the connection between you two, they have no questions about, like, they have no mistrust. They really trust you. But when it comes to things outside the connection, it's very much, I don't know. It's not as skeptical as part number one, because their partners was skeptical. But this one is just more like, I actually don't know. I don't want to agree to something, and it could go bad for me. So yeah, the communication might be a bit it might not be that great. It might be very, is it rhetorical? It might be like a riddle. They might talk to you and it's like a riddle, and you're like, so what are you saying? What are you saying then? And they're like, I've just said what I said. And then you're like, what did you say though? You said a whole paragraph and I don't understand what your point is. What's your point? So a lot of the time the communication might be a bit awkward because this person doesn't know how to express themselves directly and clearly. They have a problem with that. So yeah, frustration with communication. Um, Trying to see if I see anything else, guys. No, I think that's it, to be honest. Oh no, they have inner conflict. So a lot of them might give themselves a bad time, a hard time, and they might say, "Oh, this is my fault, and this is my fault. This is why this has gone wrong." Because people in the past might have told them that a lot of things are their fault, so they take responsibility for things that aren't actually their fault moving forward. So you might have to like explain to them, like, "No, this is not your fault. This is just a coincidence. This is someone's trying to make it seem like it's your fault, but it's not." You'd have to reassure them in that respect all the time. Um, And this person doesn't really want to be getting in conflict with anyone. They don't like drama. They just like love and peace. So this is why they'll take the blame for stuff that they shouldn't really be taking the blame for, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I get for you, pile number three. If you like this reading, you can like and subscribe to my channel. Um, and if you want a personal reading, you can look in the description below for details. And I will talk to you guys later.